unstoppable with that crossover. That hurts.
Welcome to ChariotMan Videos. What is going on, everybody? This is ChariotMan Videos, and I'm coming at you with another video and another news update. And this is some very interesting news, what I've been hearing lately from what these developers were saying, because everybody was talking about, is the Switch is even more powerful? Is it powerful? Can it run these engines? Because, you know, Reggies made statements before saying that he wants all the major AAA third-party games to be running on Nintendo Switch. He wants the opportunity to be played on the Nintendo Switch. Now, why would he say such a statement if the system can't run these games? But what's so interesting is Ubisoft. They've been a buddy to Nintendo for years. They've been close with Nintendo for years, and they've been making games for years. And then they have this new game coming out that should be coming out in a few weeks, and it's looking like it's gonna be hitting. That's Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Mario+Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It seems like it's going to be a hit now, and it looks good, portable and docked, and it's supposed to be running on a new Snowdrop Engine. You know, and what's so interesting is that all these other developers make it seem like, one of these developers like EA make it seem like the Switch can't run these engines, but yet you got a powerful engine like the Snowdrop Engine can run this game with no problem. And what I see here from this article from Comic Book, which says Nintendo Switch easily runs Ubisoft powerful Snowdrop Engine, says Mario+Rabbids team. Easily. Isn't that interesting? That's a powerful engine. It's a new engine. An engine that makes games like The Division and South Park that's coming out. And you see how good The Division looks. That runs on the new Snowdrop Engine. Right? I mean, this is why I say that the Switch is a threat to these other consoles. Because we already know that it's full-blown on the Unreal Engine 4. We know it can run the Crytek engine. Now, the Frostbite engine is pretty old, I think. It's not a new engine like the Snowdrop engine. But they can optimize that joker and make it run on the Nintendo Switch, because I think it wasn't built for that. See, the Nintendo Switch is using modern hardware that Nvidia made, and it shows because they said it ran it easily. And this is, I'm going to read the quotes here to you, and this is what they say on comicbook.com. You can check this all out at comicbook.com. This is what this one developer said. Actually, we were very surprised about how easily the development for the system is. I don't want to sound like a Ubisoft and Nintendo fan, but when we got the development kit and put the Snowdrop Engine into the Switch, those two fit perfectly together, like as in one, like as in you know, this close. The Snowdrop Engine, which is our engine for most everything, which we use for the last South Park game, is so versatile that we quickly lost our worries about the development. Now that's something else. A console hybrid. Think about this here, people. A console hybrid that can run games on the go. A powerful engine like that on the go. You cannot be in denial for this, people. I can understand it. You can run an engine like this with no problems. Nintendo wasn't kidding around when they said that this system is easy to develop for. Here's another quote. Collaborating with Nintendo has been working well. Maybe it's because we're super fans of Nintendo. We expected that there may be difficulties in understanding or culture differences, but we were wrong. I'm not saying that they were no retakes or things to change. Like, of course, man. Of course, you're gonna have things. Nothing is perfect, especially in life. Nothing is perfect. There's going to be some hiccups, you know. There were, but the focus was always quality because it's an Ubisoft game. Nintendo never said you can't do this, you can't do that. But they didn't have to either because we were mostly agreeing. They were agreeing with each other. They was getting along. Like there was two pairs that was agreeing with each other. So they developed this game that they could develop. So that means you gotta have games like The Division that can run on the Switch easy. There's no denying that The Division, which is a AAA game, can run on the Switch easily because of the Snowdrop Engine. It's like it's like having a graphics card, right? You have a graphics card that can't run. I have two graphics cards now. So the weaker graphics card, you're gonna have to lower down the settings, optimize it, like fix the settings, bring down the shadows and the textures and all of that. And that's what they're gonna have to do with the Nintendo Switch for certain games. They're gonna have to bring it down so it can run perfectly because it may not be able to handle the high settings, but it can run the game. But you're just gonna have to lower it down, just like games like Halo Forge, like I have on my system. That first graphics card really can't run it, but when you bring all the settings down, it will do its best to run the game. Well, I'm just making an example for that. But you know, not all developers is going to agree on this. You're going to have developers like Tranquilla Works says, Rhyme on Switch is challenging. So they say that it's challenging to run the game on the Switch. Not everybody's going to think that the Switch can run the games. You know, not everybody is going to agree. But then you have Ubisoft Paris saying porting Steep to the Switch is a posing and steep challenge. So they're struggling to run it on the Switch. So they have to bring Nintendo team in there to bring the Switch. So not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody is going to like the portal. Nothing in life is perfect. Everybody is not going to like things. There's always going to be somebody that's going to disagree. And I understand that. But most people has been saying that the Nintendo Switch can run these ports, and there's no denying that. They can run these games, man. And I'm going to talk about three developers that has been weighing. They say, what is it like to develop for the Switch? You can check this out on Games Ultra. They said, what is it like to develop for the Switch? Not any studios weighing. I'm picked three. I picked the best three. Now this is a game, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and this is the little quote that this developer said. After the first test, we just had to handle the change of gamepad mode and make it work at 720p resolution in handheld mode as Blanco. That's it really. It's really easy to have the game working in these two modes. Easy. That's one developer said. So they had no trouble. Even though this is not a high intense game, we understand it. It's not a high intense game, but they got it working. Alright? Here's a developer that made Run the 3. This is one of the developers. Right? After years spending ourselves, then focus on several platforms at once, it's been an incredible relief to focus on our efforts on just one platform and for it to be easy to develop for, says Rambo. So they said it's easy to develop, like Run the 3 was easy to develop for. It was very easy to develop this game for the Nintendo Switch. Now how sweet is that? Now this game is high intense. Here's another developer. I only picked three developers that I think was best. That's making Redout. That should be coming out soon. Redout. Now you see how graphically intense this game reminds you of Wipeout or High Fast Racing Neo or F-Zero. And this is what this person has to say. I quote: I think Nvidia did an amazing job with the GPU of this console, and you can't simply find anything that matches it in terms of GPU power and portability at this time. Donato says, I would probably have preferred to have something to spice it up once connected to the dock instead of just unlocking additional power on the same components. But I'm assuming something like that will have skyrocketed the cost. So a little bit more cost. We understand that. But the point is, they like the Switch and it's easy to develop for. Most developers like the Switch and it's easy to develop for. And to have Snowdrop Engine, a new engine like that, that's easy to port for, brings good news to the console. Why? Because that's more games that's going to be developed for. Games like Division. Any new game that Ubisoft can port that's part of the Snowdrop Engine, which is their future engine, could go run on the Switch easily. So that's good news. Any engine that can run on that Switch easily, that's a good news. Most of these new engines, it seems like the Switch can run it. It's like something that Nvidia did with the APIs and the Vulkan and all that other stuff. They did a good job, you know. And this is great news for whoever owns the Switch out there. Can't argue this. It's in the evidence. Even developers are saying it. So you're gonna argue against the developers. Only a few developers says, you know, it's hard. Remember Snake Pass? You remember Snake Pass? How it said it was a week to develop that game, even though it wasn't a high intense. We understand that. I'm gonna say that again. It's not a high intense game, but it's running on Unreal Engine 4, and it was able to run that game with no problems. Within a week, the game ran on the Switch. How could a game run that? And they got that game out. Literally got that game out for us. Hey, NBA Playgrounds is an Unreal Engine 4 game. It ran on the Switch. So this is some interesting stuff, man, and this is a lot of you know, things to be looked forward to for us Switch owners, for all the Switch owners, even for gaming owners. Because if the Switch does good, everybody does good. It makes competition better. This is why I say the Switch is a threat. You think that it can't run those modern engines that Activision's running? It can run all of that. You just have to bring down the settings a little bit. That's all. So tell me, people, what y'all think about this, about the Snowdrop Engine and about the Switch running it easily. You know, let me know what y'all think about it. You think it's great? Do you think the sky is the limit for the Switch? You think more games, the Ubisoft, and they already said they was gonna bring more games, so who knows? You know, who knows? But let me know what you think about this, and don't forget to slam that like button, people. Smash the like button. Share my videos so people can know more about me. Share, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. Smash it, like it, slam it, whatever you want to do. If you dislike my video, you can smash it, or dislike it, just slam it too. You can do whatever. Hey, I'm happy for both ways. But you know, let me know what you think about this, man. And I will be having my next video, and I promise to have this video on the Uncharted, on Crackdown 3 tomorrow. So I'm doing some little adjustments of my channel, but I'm gonna be letting you know, and I'm just gonna be gaming tonight on Splatoon. And I can't wait to get that started. And whatever I'm gonna be doing on PC, I will be streaming in the weekend. Let me know. And I'm gonna say peace out and have a good day gaming. And peace out, whatever you're doing. And I'm gonna say peace out, peeps.